This is a great room. I feel a lot like Lenny Bruce. If you want, I will start ranting about the Pope and about my case. Or I can talk about how I play music for my kid. Like many parents of my age and general demographic, I think it's very important that my son learn all he can about music before the age of 5. I'm doing the best I can to impart my tastes to him, and also to just expose him to as wide a range of music as possible. So we play music a lot in the car, mostly sort of singer-songwriter stuff, so he can learn sort of the essentials of lyric writing and how to improvise his own lyrics, and then at home we kind of rock out a little bit more. But I'm just going to read you a little bit about what we call music hour. In those early days of driving music hour as opposed to living room music hour, I played jazz for Elijah. He particularly liked the Max Roach drum solo on a Dinah Washington album. I also had an early 90s History of Funk compilation put out by Rhino Records. One morning I brought it into the car. It opened with Jungle Boogie, which later became known in our house as Jungle Song. Elijah certainly enjoyed singing Get Down, over and over again. Then, on a hunch, I turned it to track 12. Play that funky music. When the song was over, Elijah said, again. When it was over again, Elijah said, again. Soon I was regretting ever having introduced him to play that funky music, which these days is at best a barely acceptable wedding standard. There was no stopping his passion, though. Elijah screeched, "Monkey music, Daddy! Monkey music!" So I turned it on, again. He sang along, or at least he sang the last syllable of every word. I don't think his comprehension was very high, judging by the way he interpreted the chorus. Actually, I like his lyrics better. They went, "Play that monkey music, wiper. Play that monkey music right. Play that monkey music, wiper. Play down that booger. Die, die, die." Yeah, my kid is a genius. I'm so proud of him. So I continue to write about Elijah a lot on my blog, nealpollack.com. He's an endless source of fascinating and hilarious material for me. I would, with your indulgence, would like to read a selection or two from the blog. Actually, I wanted to tell you a story, if that's okay. Would you all like that? This would be sort of like a little sort of pseudo-moth type thing. And let's call the theme excretions. And I'll tell a story about that. So, it was a few months ago, and my wife, Regina, had gone to I live in Los Angeles now, and she'd taken a short flight to Santa Fe, New Mexico for some sort of hideous bourgeois art weekend with the girls. She has a friend who lives there, and they drank a lot of coffee and talked about things and looked at horrible art. I took care of Elijah for several days by myself, and did so gladly because I know that Regina needed her time. But it was tiring, and you know, by the end I was having some trouble getting out of bed in the morning. So Sunday morning, fourth day, about 7:05 a.m. I think I looked at the clock and I said 7:05. Elijah came crawling into the bedroom, meowing very loudly, and I opened my eyes and said good morning, and then he said, "Daddy, I'm a cat." I was like, "Yeah, you know, I can hear you meowing. I get the sense that you are a cat today." And he said, and then I said, "You know, just why don't you go meow yourself into the living room, sit on the couch, and I'll be there in like 20 minutes or something, and then I'll turn on the TV, and then I'll go back to bed." And he said, "Okay, but I have to go use the litter box first." Now, I know my son, and I know when he says something like that, he might actually mean it, so I looked at him and I said very clearly, I was like, "Elijah, if you go anywhere near the litter box, you will never be allowed to have a play date with anyone ever again for the rest of your life." So he said okay, and then he crawled out meowing. A couple minutes later, he walked into the room with his barrel of monkeys. You all are familiar with the barrel of monkeys toy? Anyone not? Okay. It was empty of monkeys, and then he showed it to me. Put it right on my nose. And he's like, "Daddy, this is my litter box." And I said, "Okay, that's great. That's your litter box. You're a genius. Just, you know, I'll be out in like 15 minutes. I promise. Just go read a book, or look at a book, and or play with a toy or something. So I stumble out of bed relatively soon after and go into the living room, the usual hair sticking up, stained white t-shirt, boxer briefs, socks pulled up to the ankles. It's just my costume, really. And Elijah's sitting on the couch, just grinning evilly. And he doesn't say a word to me. He just points to the coffee table. And there's his barrel of monkeys. And I go over and I look at it, and sure enough, it's filled to the rim with warm piss. And I looked at him and I said, Elijah, God damn it, don't ever pee in your barrel of monkeys again. And then I took the barrel of monkeys, emptied it into the toilet, and put it in the dishwasher. And that's how I started the day. It's the first thing I did on Sunday. Which it's just not a way for a person to live. I don't know, how many of you how many of you have children? Okay. How many of you are children? How many of you have parents? Yeah, there we go. That's more of the response I'm looking for. So, I get the sense that you all would be interested in hearing another fun Elijah story. Yeah. Would that be the case? Okay, just a second. Yeah, at this point I pretty much write about music, marijuana, and bodily functions, and it all somehow relates back to my kid. So it's really kind of a dream job in a way. And this is also set in Los Angeles, which the book takes place mostly in Austin, Texas, and we moved to LA because I wanted to raise my kid in a safe, clean, sort of unpretentious environment. So we moved to Hollywood. I picked Elijah up from preschool yesterday, and I brought Hercules. Hercules is our Boston Terrier. Yes, I have a Boston Terrier. They don't hold that against me. With me. Regina was having a General Foods International Coffee Day with another painter who she'd met online, and I wanted to give her a little extra time. Together, the boys and I drove to the Silver Lake dog park, about which Elijah complained mightily. I don't want to go to the dog park, he said in the car. But we're going, I said, because Hercules needs to run around with his friends. No! The dogs will jump on me, then they will bite me, and they have sharp nails. Don't be such a wuss, I said. You'll be fine. Will you carry me? I will put you on top of a picnic table, and then I will guard you with my life. Will that be sufficient? Yes. What's Hercules going to do? Run around? Is he going to eat rabbits, or is there going to be a sea monster there? And so goes every conversation I have with the boy. We went to the dog park, where Hercules got it on with a Malamute pup, 2 Scotties, and a 3-legged bitch. Stray. And then we, I don't know why they let us stray into the dog park. I think that'll come out in the editing of Alternate Ad 2, Electric Boogaloo. Then we went to the kid park, which was part of a city rec center. Elijah stayed around for a while. Played around for a while, right? Well, of course he stayed around for a while. Played around for a while. I ran into a mother who I'd met at a party, and we chatted non-committally about how difficult it is to get an agent to read a spec sitcom pilot, a conversation that I rarely had with mothers anywhere else. Elijah played with her 7-year-old daughter, Isabella. The boy has a quality that makes slightly older girls want to take him under their wing. When he's 16, I predict he will take a job as a bellhop in a luxury hotel. And at that point, his powers will begin to come in very handy. He ran up to me and shouted, "My butt hurts because I have gas." And then he ran away. "Aw," said the mom. "It's cute when he tells you that he has gas." "It's no big deal," I said. "All Jews do that." It got less cute when he ran up to me and said, "I have poopy, Daddy." Isabella's mom began to back away, and then she did it even more quickly when I loudly announced that I'd forgotten to bring a diaper to the park with me. I had one back in the car, a leftover Disney Princess's pink pull-up number that my father had accidentally purchased for Elijah at Target, but I had no wipes. It was time to approach a rec center employee. "My son has to use the potty," I said. She led us into a park bathroom. "I have a dog," I said. "Is it okay if I bring him in?" "Oh, sure," she said. The fact that she would allow me to do it made me a little uneasy, but I took Hercules in the bathroom with me anyway and tied his leash to a faucet handle. Then I pulled down Elijah's pants, unfastened his diaper, gently lowered it with the precision of a nip-tuck surgeon, lifted it back up, tipped it over, and tumbled some magic nugs into the can. Then I had to pick up the 3 pieces that had accidentally dropped onto the floor. For those of you who are planning to have children, welcome to the rest of your life. Parenthood has many payoffs, but where you once would have been getting high and watching the Cartoon Network in the early evening, now you'll be picking up human shit from the floor of a Parks and Recreation Center restroom. Back at the car, I opened the door and turned away to fish the Disney princess's diaper out from under Elijah's Etch-a-Sketch. "Oh, how cute," I heard a female voice say. Elijah stood in the middle of the sidewalk. He dropped his pants to his ankles and was gazing at me with a death... Well, it's a blog entry, okay? I don't have an editor. Was looking at me with a death-knelling gaze of pure beatific innocence. I knew it was an act, but that's the way he behaves around the ladies. 2 young women, almost certainly actresses, were running their hands through his hair. He just smiled, naked from the waist down, and took it. I hurried over. "My apologies," I said. "Oh, please, he's like the most adorable thing ever," said one of the ladies. "Yeah, I guess it's better him than me doing that, huh?" I said. Yeah, I would say so." "It's a family trait," I said. I was joking, but I must have sounded lurky because they backed away. Elijah saw the diaper. He put his hands to his face. "No," he said. "I don't want a woman diaper." At that moment, I knew we'd reached the dread Rubicon of gender awareness. All right.